Hey there, welcome back to 31 Days of Devotion. This is Adreanna Limbach coming to you from my meditation space here in my apartment. I bet you thought I was going to say mindful. Gotcha. So it's really great to be back here with you for our second to last practice together. January. Whew. Where did you go, January? I thought we were just getting started. Really, truly, thank you to everybody who has written in with all of your questions, with your thoughts, really incredibly thoughtful and insightful questions. To all of you who have participated in the anonymous survey. That's right down at the bottom of this page if you haven't checked it out yet. It's honestly so helpful for me and the rest of the contributing teacher team to hear what hit the mark for you, to hear what is actually useful and beneficial so that we can continue to make things that answer your questions and that you find to be really relevant to your meditation practice. So for today's question, this comes from Addie. Hi, Addie. Thanks for writing in. Addie asks a really brilliant question because it's the question of how do we bring our meditation practice, our mindfulness practice, into considering our future. There's a whole lot of future that many of us have to consider. So how do we do it mindfully? So Addie asks, I'm wondering if you can speak a bit more about how to mindfully think about the future. I have a lot of future-focused anxiety, and I struggle with focusing on the present moment while also trying to figure out how I'm going to get all of the tasks on my to-do list done. How do I stay grounded in what's going on right now while also looking ahead? Both in terms of the things that I need to get done today and also major life decisions and uncertainty that come my way. So, Addie, this is a really great question. I can definitely relate to that never-ending to-do list. I think that many of us can. So a couple of things that stand out to me here is, as you said, you have a lot of future-focused anxiety. And I find that by focusing on the future, in many ways we are inviting anxiety because the future is so uncertain, as you mentioned. The future is so unknown. And what tends to happen when our minds are faced with uncertainty is that we kind of rush to figure it out, right? We rush to figure out all of the 72 things that we need to do and have to do and should do and who we need to talk with and what we need to plan out and the things that we don't know that we couldn't possibly know until we actually go ahead and do them, and how to prepare the best possible outcome and all of the 72 different outcomes that can happen. And it's exhausting. It's really exhausting to try to basically build a dam of certainty against the future, because we can't. The future is completely uncertain. So as much as we try to plan and organize and figure it out and prepare, what ends up happening when we show up to the present moment is that we might not really be present for it because we're too busy trying to kind of manipulate our experience to have the experience that we want to be having. So this is all a very long way of saying that you don't think mindfully about the future. You practice mindfulness in the present moment so that when you show up to those future experiences, you can really be there fully and practice participating skillfully. Because if we're present for what's actually happening in front of us, we're going to be so much more thoughtful, skillful, and engaged in what's actually happening, rather than kind of juggling the 72 different thoughts that we have about what's happening. So, really great question. I also want to reference our intention practice at the very beginning of this month. A big part of the intention practice is taking some time to consider not just what we have to do, because we all have a lot to do, but how it is we actually want to show up for it, how we want to engage in the doing, and the qualities that we want to bring to the forefront. Because at the end of the day, while we might not be able to build a dam against the uncertainty of the future, the one thing that we do have agency over is how we show up and participate when the future becomes our present moment. So I hope that is helpful. I hope that partially answers your question at the very least. With that said, taking a moment just to find our seat here in the present moment so that we can be better prepared for those future moments, wherever we happen to be. As always, making sure that our seat feels really sturdy, sustainable. And then once we've decided on our seat, taking a moment to locate our gaze. And eyes open, eyes closed. And then perhaps giving ourselves a few deep inhales, deep exhales. And we'll take just a few moments to really arrive here fully in our practice, in our bodies. And so first and foremost, turning our attention over to the sensation of sound. Just allowing the sound of the space that we're in to ground us, serving as an anchor, and giving our practice a bit of context. Here we are in this space with this sound. Staying open to sound, turning the attention to touch. So really feeling the space that we occupy, and just allowing ourselves to occupy it fully. Take up space. And the weight of the body against the chair, the cushion. Feeling the temperature of the air on our skin displaced around us. Taking in the texture of our clothing. Dropping the attention into the feet. Just feeling our feet here. That light pressure of making contact. Grazing the attention across the soles of the feet. Through the shin bones, circling the kneecaps. Tracing the attention across the thighs. Into the sit bones. Belly. Chest. Taking a moment here just to release any physical weight that we might be holding, any extra effort that we're exerting. Just allowing our bodies to be heavy against the cushion, the chair. Again, really take up this space. This is where you are. Feeling into the barrel of the chest, the front body, It's beginning to establish contact with the body breathing. Feeling the rise and the fall of the belly with the breath. The way the body responds. And then wherever, however, the breath is most available in the body, most easily felt, it's dropping an anchor here, home base, and continuing in with this singular instruction. As the mind wanders, which it naturally will, noticing when we've left our breathing, acknowledging what captures our attention, and gently, firmly coming back to the breath in the body. So again, if we find ourselves drifting, no big deal. Just a bit of acknowledgement where we've landed, light touch of recognition, and feeling the body breathe. So there's this continual interplay that's happening here of staying very open to what is happening right here. Sound, emotion, thinking, whatever makes itself available to us. We don't ignore it. We just simply acknowledge it and return to the breath. And in those moments that we find ourselves drifting completely out to sea, again, just feeling our way back, acknowledging where we've landed, and breath inside the body. And again, feeling our body here in space, Breath inside the body and resting here. So much of this practice is really a training in taking up space, just allowing ourselves to really be here in this moment without hesitation, without needing things to be different. Just really here. This is it. And so that we're more likely to be here for the next moment and the next moment. Whatever happens in the future, we'll be there for it. We'll know how to respond skillfully to it because we're there for it. In the final few moments of practice, we might choose to let our eyes gently shut if they haven't already. And just taking a moment to consider the day ahead, whatever that holds for you. If it's later in the day, perhaps contemplating your evening. If it's early in the morning, considering the contents of your day. Perhaps just taking a moment to consider who you anticipate seeing, if anyone. The activities you anticipate engaging in, if anything. Taking a moment to touch in on intention. It's asking yourself, how would I like to show up for the day ahead? What's the quality that I'd like to engage with, bring to the forefront? For you, this quality might be reminiscent of your intention for the year. Perhaps it's a very specific quality for the day ahead. Patience, generosity, exertion. What is this day asking of you? What would be the most skillful quality that you could bring to it? Whatever that is for you, taking a moment to consider the people you anticipate encountering. Just asking, what might that be like? What might that be like to show up here with my intention intact? What might that be like? Perhaps noticing the activities of the day. Maybe there are different pieces, different projects, different activities. Again, keeping this same intention in mind. Just noticing, what might that be like? What might that be like to engage in my day where my intention leading the way? What might that be like? And then maintaining this quality in your mind, allowing contemplation to drop, and noticing what it's like to simply rest here in your body with your breath, with this intention intact, with this quality in mind. And what does it mean to participate even here with that intention? The simple act of sitting. Taking just a few more moments to feel the body breathing. And again, allowing ourselves to take up space, be here fully. This is it. And then as you're ready, allowing formal practice to drop and coming back into the space together at your own pace, no rush. Great. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much for practice. I really want to encourage you, Addie, encourage everyone, encourage myself, I'm included in this conversation, to really use this as an opportunity to trust that if we are genuinely available to the present moment as it's happening, that we will be able to meet it skillfully without a lot of fussing and planning and reorganizing. And that stuff is important, but at the end of the day, we drop it and meet the moment as it is. So thank you, everybody, for your practice. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Enjoy. And I will see you back on the cushion tomorrow for our final day together.